Hey, this is a really bad shit, by the way. Like, I know it's rumpled, but I just want to get the video done with so I can go into the time sync and let's talk about that. Time syncs are stuff I do where I lose a bunch of time, right? So like sometimes it could be something like I go on Instagram for an hour plus. Other times it could be like I have this really big curiosity with a certain topic and I spend 2 hours, 3 hours looking to that topic. Maybe it's with a project that does not align with my goals directly, and I spend like 5 hours plus on it. Right. So those are time sinks. And as a person, I'm very prone to doing them. And as I say that, there's a time check I really want to do right now. So NVIDIA has a big conference. It's called the NVIDIA GTC. They have two every 2 years, every year essentially. So one is in DC. Got to go to that one, really really nice. And they have their main one, much bigger than the other one. In California, it's coming up in March. I want to say March or April. But then to get there, it's really expensive unless you enter the GTC contest where five judges from NVIDIA basically choose the project that best uses NVIDIA's open source models. Um, my issue, and the reason I say it's a time sink, is that I can't just take a pre-existing project like the dynamic game compiler or Quest or something else that's really cool, or even Crowdflow, maybe Crowdflow, but I can't take those projects and say, hey, I'm just gonna put an open source, I'm gonna put like a Nemotron NVIDIA open source model into it and like ship off to them because NVIDIA is very what I've noticed from participating in the hackathons and talking to judges is that they're very particular about how they want the projects to be because I feel like they want to kind of market it more. It's like, oh, hey guys, if you're a business that does this, then look, we have something for that. Our models are a really good fit. Because the best way to show off their products. So like something like the dynamic game compiler, really cool idea. I love it, right? But even with like the education angle, it doesn't have strong footing. Quest, same thing as well. Quest was a basically a project where it gives you quests to kind of upgrade your life. So it's like mini quests. Point is, not something that's really a defined problem for like an industry. Um, but one thing I think I could do, because yesterday I was talking about the other hackathon, that if I get into God willing, I could do an idea that's not necessarily a world model idea, but it's a spatial intelligence idea, which is construction workers work in a spatially relevant environment. So when there's miscommunication, that affects certain objects. So if you have a piece of plank over here, uh, if you have a piece of plank, I got so scared for a second. I heard like footsteps. But if you have a piece of plank over here that's relevant for some reason, and some boss or some other coworker relay the wrong information, and you go do something to that thing, it's not irreversible, right? So then now you lost time and you lost resources. So if you could spatially anchor information to the goggles of these construction workers, then maybe it'll be easier. There's obviously arguments against it, like privacy, or maybe you could just use other ways that are probably easier, like writing some notes or something like that. But the point is, it's a cool idea and it does hold merit and spatially anchoring information. And there's tons of other applications you could apply, maybe firefighting or other dynamic environments. Um, but my issue is not world model aligned. And there's a 10% maybe lower chance I actually get picked for the GTC content. So then if it's not world model aligned, sorry, if I don't get picked, I lose that. But if it's not world model aligned either, then I also lose that. So I don't even get the relevant experience. That being said, though, it sounds like a really cool project. Um, and it excites me a bit. So I think what I want to do is I'm going to do a time sync, and I'm really hoping that in some I have no plan for it right now. I have no plan to like extract some merit from this project or extract some value. But I'm really hoping there is something along the way that actually leads is of value to me. Maybe I get picked for the NVIDIA GTC. Maybe I find something that's really useful for the whole native world model image idea, or maybe useful for the whole mini world idea. Right? Maybe I find something there. Worst case, I don't, and I just take my loss as a time sink. But that's what I'm thinking. I was gonna do a whole thing where I weigh the pros and cons, but I don't think there's a point because it's like I'm gonna do it either way. So I think I'm just gonna use this as a video for today and start working on the project while watching How to Train Your Dragon 2 because it's a really good movie, which is another time sink. But besides that, I have nothing else to say. So have a great day.